Hi there YouTube. I've been wanting to do this video for quite a time now. I'm basically going to run you through my fully complete Japanese army. I finished these guys around about 3 months ago, and although I've got some videos of the individual units, there's a few units that I never covered in videos when I completed the army, and I'm just going to basically go on a quick run through the entire army and show you what's what. Okay, so first of all we'll start with the command teams. So let's zoom in a little bit. So here's the command element. A little bit more. So this guy here is the captain. And he is the guy who came in the metal miniature that came in the army starter box set, but you also get a second one if you buy the Japanese command blister. Next up we have two spotters, or a spotter and his helper. So let's get him up. So this is supposed to be an air spotter, and his assistant here, kind of hiding in bushes. And of course you can't have air support unless you've got an aircraft. So this is the aircraft. I've actually done a video on this separately, and it's basically a Corgi die-cast Mitsubishi Zero on the base that came with it, and I've just basically weathered it up and flopped the base, and it's quite a good scale to use on the tabletop. Next up we have the medic. Next up, this is the first lieutenant and his little command section. This is a metal miniature from the, I believe it's the command pack, the command blister. And I added the LMG onto his back. And his two assistants, bugler, and guy carrying a banner to lead the charge. Okay, next up we go over to here, and we have the flamethrower team. And the anti-tank rifle team. I don't think I did a video on these guys, so this is the first time you guys are seeing this team. And the actual anti-tank rifle guy himself. Of course the Japanese used a 20mm anti-tank rifle. And those guys, and the sniper team, I have shown these guys before in a video, so I'll just do a quick view of these guys. So we have the primary sniper here. It's my cat making that noise in the background. And his assistant. Okay. Next up we have the suicide anti-tank guys. I've actually got 4, although they're meant to be a squadron of a little squad of 3, so get a little bit of choice. We have this guy charging in with a bomb pack. You have a guy with some kind of pineapple looking explosive. And then the 2 chaps with the pole anti-tank mines. Try and show these guys together. Again, I'm not sure, I don't think I did a video on these guys, so again, these are the first time you're seeing these chaps. Give you a bit closer look at this guy. So there's his anti-tank mine on a long pole, and he's basically running at the tank. Okay. Next up we'll move the camera, and here we have a 14-man grenadier squad that has been slightly updated. I can't remember if I did a video on these guys, I think I did. They've been slightly updated due to the fact that I had some LMGs in this squad, and apparently they're not supposed to have them, so I've basically modified them up, got rid of the LMG team, and they're now a complete squad of 14 without the LMG. There's 3 knee mortars in there, I think. I won't bother going in too close on these guys, they're just basically bog standard plastic infantry. Perhaps I'll just show you one of the knee mortar guys. So we have this guy here. And one of the loaders. I've tried to come up with all the mortar guys in slightly different positions, and all the loaders in slightly different positions. Just because I'm not a big fan of having all my miniatures in the same pose. Okay, and maybe I'll show you another one. So we have this guy here, who is about to put a round down the tube, and his loader who's ready to hand him another. Okay, next up we have the, I believe this is a Type 70 howitzer. I could be wrong because I've kind of forgotten the name. This again, I don't think I've shown this in a video. This came out quite nice. You've got the 3-man team. It's a strange little gun. That's that. And the machine gun team. Again, I can't remember if I did a video on these guys. Don't think I did. Again, they came out pretty nice. And a quick view of the mortar team. I have done a video of these guys on their own, but I haven't done a sort of real close-in look, so I'll give you that now. And they have a spotter of their own. Focus. There we go. There we go. Next up, I'll show you the tank. This again has been slightly modified since the first time I showed it. Let's just zoom out a little bit. There we go. My original one, I've got this thing about, I've had it since I was a kid, about any model kit that I used to buy, whether it be a model tank or a model plane, it had to have crew. That was one of my major pet peeves. I'd go to the model shop, I'd buy a model aircraft, get it home, be all excited about building it, and then there's no pilots to sit in the cockpit, and I was bummed. So in my haste to do my first, because this is actually my first bolt action tank I did, I put a driver in this hatch here, and it's actually one of my guys who viewed my video left a comment saying that is actually a maintenance hatch and not the driver's hatch. The driver actually sits back here, and he doesn't actually have a hatch of his own. So I basically took the driver out. Apparently it's the differential down there, and closed that hatch. So it's just left with the tank commander now. This tank came out really well. It's the early Japanese tank camouflage, and the markings are transfers, and they were quite difficult to put on because they're actually that's actually 3 transfers there, and that's one on there. That's the squadron number, and I believe that's a whole transfer next to it there. You can see a good look at that, and there's the commander. And I magnetised the turret on this because although it fitted well, it did have a tendency to fly out. There we go, Type 97. Okay, and then we've got 3 infantry units, which again I've shown in individual videos already on my channel. I'll just do a quick zoom in on these because you kind of seen them before. So I just that's the this is my Banzai Charge Squad. So they've got a banner of their own, and I'll just show you the NCO because he's kind of charging with a katana drawn and a pistol out with this submachine gun on his back. Because you've got to have at least one Banzai squad in the Japanese army, haven't you? So all of these guys are basically running, including the LMG team, and this guy, the loader, did a little bit of a unique position on him. He's actually holding a spare magazine for the machine gun, and of course the machine gun is actually running as well. Okay, and then we have, swing the camera around. This, I believe, is my, well, I call them third squad. I believe this was the first unit I actually did. They're all pretty much generic positions. Generic sergeant. And it was kind of disappointing that the Japanese plastic miniature sprue only had the one sort of LMG, not LMG, sorry, submachine gun position, because this hand is actually like moulded with the holding the magazine, and although you got one separate, I basically, I don't actually thinking about it, I don't think you even did get one separate. So all the actual figures that I've got holding or wearing submachine guns on their back, like this chap, is actually the submachine gun cut out of the plastic arm and a rifle butt cut and stuck onto the back of it, and of course the magazine cut out of the hand and stuck onto the machine gun. Okay, and then the final squad of basic infantry. It's a squad that I designate these as second squad, and they've got a sergeant with his katana drawn. If I can find this camera, there it is. And he's kind of holding his submachine gun. And again, I've done the for them a sort of a unique MG loader for the LMG, and he's basically got two magazines in his hands, ready to pass them to the gunner, who's just in the standard standard prone position here. And I basically made those magazines by cutting them off of the actual weapons. Okay, that's practically it now, guys. One last squad, and these are, let's swing camera round and down a bit. It's these guys here, my jungle veteran squad. Again, these, I never did a video on these guys, so I'll show you them now. These guys are all metal, and let's give you a closer look at them. So here's the sergeant. See, these guys have got the foliage all over them. And we have a prone miniature. Decided that he was small enough to fit on a normal base with very little overhang, because although I do like putting my prone miniatures on the 25 by 50 bases, sometimes Obviously because it's quite a big squad, it's like a squad of 10 men. Those 25 by 50s take up a bit of space if you try and get them into a hut or a building. So I've got a few pro miniatures on just normal bases, just because they're in a sort of compact position and you can basically get away with it. And next one, this guy's kind of throwing a hand grenade. Oh, and my cat's decided to join us again. Be careful. Be careful. I said be careful. Bobo, be careful. Come on. Sorry about that. Normally I would cut the video and start again, but I've gone so far into this, I'm just going to continue. So, starting again, we have this guy here throwing a hand grenade. Oh, no good, you don't jump up here for a second. Here we go. And this guy's in a quite interesting pose. Again, he's kind of throwing a hand grenade, but just at the point where he's releasing it. Again, the foliage. Oh, Bo, be careful. No, girl. And she just knocked my whole command squad off. Luckily, they're all metal. Oh, sorry about that. And we'll try and rush our way through these now, because I fear that she's going to want to jump up again. So we basically have 4 or 5 to go. So let's quickly get these in. We've got a guy kneeling. Standing. She's up again. Quickly, must finish, must finish. We have a guy running. And thrusting. And finally, the LMG team, who is this guy here. Careful. And the loader here. Okay, I'm going to actually cut it here, not just because my cat is causing absolute chaos and is hell bent on getting on the table. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like the videos. I'm in the middle of doing a US Marine Corps Army at the moment, so there'll be a lot more updates on that. So until next time, YouTube, catch you next time.